Hey, what's going on, my fellow duelist? I am the Khaos. This is 50% of my living room, and this is my Fire Dark deck profile. This is the 5th time now I've tried recording this video. The first time I was inappropriate, the second time I wasn't funny enough, the third time I turned into fucking Porky Pig, and the 5th time, I just couldn't fucking speak. So, way I'm seeing it today is, I'm going to try to keep you guys as entertainment here at hand. The way I see it, anytime I'm doing a video by myself, I try to be as funny as I possibly can, just so you guys can have a couple laughs. So, what I'm doing here for you guys is I got a Fire Dark Rush, with, what is it, the ratio I think is, I think I said 23 and 17. So I'm running a 40 card deck. The focus of this deck is primarily on the destruction of fire and darkness combined. Alright, so it's a little bit of a slower running deck. Basically, just going to get into this, and hopefully I can bring you guys a little bit of entertainment. First off, we got Jetflame Bodyguard, 2 copies of him, 1 for 3,000 Skirmisher. He's just good Evo bait considering he's a Drakon, and the 1 for 3 is always a nice power bump, regardless of he is a Skirmisher, so he has a little bit of banning. But hey, because I said so. Second up, we have Drakon Weaponsmith, 2 Drakons, 2 of them, 2 copies, 2 copies! He is 2 for 1,000 with powerful attacker 2,000, so he bats for 3,000, but he's defending at 1,000. You keeping up with me? Good. The reason why I have him is because, once again, he's a Drakon. He's tapped 2 because Rush has precious little mana to spare. So, yeah. Next up, we have Blastforge Slaver, 2 copies, 3 for 1,000. I always try to get a good bump card in my deck, or decks, plural, because I have more than one. And he's a Drakon, so he's also acceptable Evo bait. Okay. Holy shit, dude. My cards are a little bit messed up in order here. There we go. Start a little lineup. Okay, next up we have our Evos. 2 of them. 3 laser armed Drakons. 3 for 4,000 with double breaker and powerful attack 2,000. So he's batting for 6. Only thing that sucks about him is the fact that he gets removed by cheap removals, such as Bone Blades, Return to the Soil, Ice Blade. Well, it's not really removing him, but it's a bit annoying, so. Then, we have 2 Gilaflame, 4 for 5,000, fast attacker. Most people love Gilaflame. Love him. I love him. Love him, yeah. He's a pretty dang good card when it comes to swinging for game. Plus, whenever your opponent knows you have a fast attacker in your hand, and he's constantly going back to your hand, or whenever, yeah, what I said. Whenever your opponent knows that you have Gilaflame on the field, they normally try to discard him or find out a way to banish him. Regardless, if they don't have any way of doing that, then they get pretty worried, and that's just the way you want to go. You want to scare your opponent, man. Psychological warfare. Gotta do it. Then, we have 2 copies of Blastforge Slaver. He's 5 for 4,000. Another Evo. Reason why I have him in there is because he's pretty much a barrage for the body. What his little thing is called is, it's Crater Eyes. I thought it was Cauter Eyes for the longest time, but I'm wrong. So, whenever he attacks, you banish target enemy creatures up to a grand total of 4,000 attack. So, pretty much, it's a math game. You can banish 3 Skull Cutter and something else with 1,000, you know, whatever. The next up, 2 that I have, is 2 copies of Skycrusher's Elite. He's 5 for 4,000, and he's also a Drakon. Like I said, in all my fire, I try to focus on one specific type, especially because of the Evos that we have now. The reason why I'm running Skycrusher, I was originally running Twin Cannon Maelstrom, who is a 5 for 5, 2,000 attack, and Armor Dragon. I had him originally just because he was an additional bump, but most of the time he was in mana. So, I'm using Skycrusher's Elite because whenever he's on the field, if I summon a creature that has 2,000 power or less, that creature's a fast attacker, which is superbly awesome. And then, after my fire monsters, we're getting into fire spells. I'm doing my deck split up. I'm doing fire first and darkness later. What we got here is 2 Comet Missile. You guys all know what Comet Missile does, but for those of you that don't, it is a shield blast that gets rid of 1 blocker. I'm running 2 of them simply because we're not doing OP yet. Once we do OP, I'll probably tear this deck apart and rebuild it a bit. I don't know what I'm going to focus on, but there's a lot of ways you can go with this thing. Next up is a tap 3 spell card called Heat Seekers. See? 3 Heat Seekers. See? Basically, you banish targeting creature that has 3,000 or less attack. You're bringing that bad boy out on turn 3, so pretty much you're going to be using them. Then, next up, another card that I got focused in my deck is Overcharge. Tap 4, get all your creatures get an additional 1,000 attack, and they can attack untapped creatures. And they can attack untapped creatures. So basically, right there, it's awesome because Skull Cutter doesn't have to wait for somebody to get tapped to do something. It's always nice. And right here is the last of my fire spells, running 3 Tornado Flame for the shield blast factor mostly. Probably whenever I tear it apart, one of these is going to be going bye-bye just simply because I'm running very spell heavy, and when you do that, you run the risk of drawing a hand of nothing but spells and evos, which means there's just not crap you can do, and that's just a bummer. So that's it for the fire part of my deck. Now we're going to get into the darkness. Right here we got 2 for 2 Gigazanda Chimera. Oh yeah. Just a vanilla card, standard in any sort of darkness deck. Especially for the Evo bait, that's always fun. And next up I am running 3 Skull Cutters. They are Dread Masks, so they're not Evo bait, but they are Slayers, which is always a very nice thing to have in any darkness deck. Especially since I'm running Skycrusher's Elite, like I told you, it allows them to attack, return their summoned. The only problem that I could possibly run in with running Skycrusher's Elite and Blastforge Slaver, however, is that Blastforge Slaver gives a 2,000 attack power bump to any Drakon. So that means that bare minimum of Drakon is going to be sitting at 3,000 power, so he won't be able to get the fast attack because he'll be over 2,000 power. But the whole point of having those 2 cards in my deck, it gives me 2 options for a bump, and at the same time, if I really need that fast attack and I have an Evo in hand, then I'll just Evo Braidclaw, damn it. I'll just Evo Blastforge Slaver, so I can do it anyway. Alright, so pretty much there, it just gives me some more options to play with. Alright, after those, we get into Gigastand. 3 for 2,000, discarding effect. He's a dang good card. I really like him. The discarding, I love the discarding thing about any sort of darkness. Why is that, you may ask? Well, simply because discarding is basically terror-pitting somebody's hand. And that's just the way I look at any sort of discarding or deck mill or anything like that. I see it as you getting rid of a problem before the problem becomes a problem. Understand? Plus, he's a Chimera. Makes him Evo bait. Everyone loves Evo bait. And then next up is a single copy card for Scaradorable Gloom Hollow. I'm only running 1 because we don't have the second one here yet. Whenever I run the second one, I'll probably get rid of the Tornado Flame for him. And I think that would clear up a good amount of problems there because A, it would help me knock down my spell monster ratio. B, it would improve on my darkness fire ratio. And C, it gives me another card at Evo bait for Chimeras, which is what I'm kind of lacking on in the darkness right now. So, in theory, it's all positive, except for the fact I'm losing a Shield Blast. But, as you guys have probably seen in some of our reviews or deck profiles or something, I remember stating that, in theory, something can be completely perfect, when in practice, it's absolutely awful. Alright, so, the reason why I'm running Scaradorable is because he's a blocker, and he keeps anything level 4 or less from being banished, okay? So, pretty much I can chump block an Evo. This guy can swing for a monster or a shield, it doesn't matter. Basically, my deck kind of runs a little bit of control elements, just simply because the whole point of control is allows you to stem the flow of combat on the field, allows you to say who stays and who goes. I think control elements in a rush deck can be very good if you know how to do it right. Granted, I'm not saying I'm doing it right. I'm just saying I'm trying a little bit. Okay, and next up we have 2 Hydra Medusas. They are the Chimera Evolution. They are 5 for 5,000, and when they're summoned, you can destroy an enemy creature. Basically, you can parapet it, which is nice. Right there, that's a cheap-ass parapet. And as soon as you do that, you can swing for another creature or you can swing for a shield. So obviously that's another thing that'll stem the flow of combat. And next up, I am running I almost said 3 Bone Blades, which are shield blasts that banish target enemy creature that is level 4 or less. These guys can also be played from your hand for anti-evo. Pretty much anything water, a couple, I think, Laser Arm Drakon and fire, and most things in nature. Well, except for Flame Spike Tats, but anything that's water is susceptible to cheap removal, and there's a couple in nature that are as well. So it's just a good card to have. Plus, if somebody brings out a monster that you don't want on the field, Bone Blades will take care of them for you. Next up, we're running 3 Terror Pit. Everyone knows who Terror Pit is, or what a Terror Pit is. It's a shield blast that allows you to destroy the target enemy creature. That's it. Just hands down, best banish in the Kaijudo game thus far. Probably ever will be, just because it's so simple. But that is my Fire Rush deck. See, right now I'm currently experimenting with a monochrome nature deck with focus on Beastkin. Pretty much that's just, like I said, it's just still going through an experimental phase. So far it's faced SexyDreamPirate's Fire Rush deck before he made the changes, and it's faced his Monochrome Darkness. His Monochrome Darkness totally raped the living shit out of it. The Fire Darkness, not so much. I think I knocked it out. He would say that I just won it, and I'd say, man, if you ask me, I would say I got lucky. But so pretty much, the way I do my experimentation decks is, if I lose 2 matches in a row, I scrap it normally, because that's just unacceptable. But I think we're planning on uploading 2 videos today to YouTube. This one, and we're going to be doing a special thank you video for another Kaijudo duelist out there that has his own YouTube channel. I'm not going to name his name yet, just so you guys have a reason to watch the video. But so far, the guy's been pretty cool. He gave us a shout out on one of his videos, which is really helping our channel out. And to anybody that's actually tried to start a YouTube channel, you know how hard it is to actually get your name out there and, you know, start getting subscribers and followers and all that shit. So hopefully with any luck we can turn this into something really good. But that's all I got you guys here for you today. Hope you guys all have a great evening or morning, depending on when you're watching this. And as always, keep playing.